Good afternoon. Since our inception, Los Alamos has focused on leading-edge technology that serves to protect the United States and her allies from those regions throughout the world with the intention to harm our way of life. Our research and development has supplemented our military and government throughout some of the tough years of posturing, especially in relations to the Cold War era and the Soviet Union. However, our world has evolved and those threats diminished, replaced by guerrilla warfare and threats of domestic terrorism. The science of yesterday designed to quiet a region is no longer viable when dealing with an individual mixed within a civilian population. Additionally, our focus on science without concerns for unit cost or return on investment have hindered our ability to grow and evolve. Years of work dedicated to scientific government projects have stifled our innovation. We must change directions to remain solvent and viable in future scientific exploration. We are being forced into an episodic, transformational change process. We must refocus, restructure, and realign our psychological contracts. Essentially, we must reinvent who Los Alamos is and who they will be in the future. We must design, believe, and become what we envision in 2025. Our biggest threat is resistance to change. We have some of the best scientists, engineers, and researchers available, but without a clear direction and goals, we are destined to fail. We must support independence and mistakes, using those mistakes as opportunities to train and become better for future operations. Mistakes will be made, but if we do not support those mistakes and we punish individuals, they will become quiet, reserved, and things will revert back to the way they were, with indecision. Additionally, we'll have attrition problems. This will be an impact at every level throughout our organization, as employees are unsure of their future and are no longer allowed to remain in their comfort zones. We'll address this through management, from the top. We must be visible and available to our employees more often than ever. There will be many questions, opinions, and rumors that must be addressed. Through management within work groups, it will be necessary to identify social networks and identify who those change leaders are, as well as the detractors. Who's going to promote and derail our change process? Should there be an addition or deletion of our staff, we will handle the transition as professionals. We must ensure that new faces are welcome and old friends are fairly compensated for their years with Los Alamos. Without sound, confident leadership and new ideas, failure is imminent. Uncertainty and new expectations will require additional training and the establishment of new policies. While our goals are to change direction and steer Los Alamos into the future, the reality is our culture will change and turn more like a battleship than a fighter jet. It will take time and patience, but we will get there. As our employees question the process, we must be there to provide answers with open door policies and willing attitudes. If we fail to communicate and reinforce the needs for patients, we will stall the change process and jeopardize our goals. Los Alamos has a history and culture that is ingrained in each one of our individuals associated with us. Our employees, customers, and partners all know our story. There will be good and bad that comes from this change. One of the most prominent bad that stands out will be the loss of some of our employees, our friends, and our co-workers. But with that will come a significant positive. We will have new lifeblood, new ambition, and new goals that will help lead us into the future. As we observe the daily actions and trends, we'll analyze that change process and identify indicators of success throughout the way. A key observation that must be observed is the solidification of our workforce. At some point it will stabilize, and this is when we know we're on the right track. In the future, we'll avoid situations such as this by maintaining a forward-thinking approach. We're always looking 10 to 15 years into the future rather than at today or yesterday. This new culture will lead us into our future. This new culture, which you design, which you implement, and which you have developed. The future of Los Alamos is in this room. the future of Los Alamos is good.